Hey guys and gals, so everybody's favorite map, probably not, WR-EX-6 challenge mode. Melee operators have decreased attack speed but increased defense. 3 extra roadblocks are placed beforehand. You can't yank those roadblocks out, they are a permanent obstacle, which makes the EX map hard, but the team's identical to our previous team. Said it like I just did a video for the regular version. Anyway, I'm pulling out Thermite because I actually just want somebody who does damage. I'll probably just take Melantha actually. Because I found that one of the defense points just tends to loiter for a long time, the one that catapults on, so... the only 4-star here is Perfumer, and to be frank, you probably don't even need her just due to all the excess defense that your operators get. You could just as easily bring along any healer, really. I'll just bring Ansel. If I had another 3-star arts operator, I probably would bring them just to say it's a flat 3-star, but unfortunately I don't, so. I mean, I suppose I could just bring like Cruz or something. It would just take excessively long. So you can do it without Amiya, but like I said, it would just take an excessively long period of time. So I'm not going to do that, but you can do it with a full 3-star team, so food for thought, guys. So, as I said, I'll get my vanguards in first, so 1, 2. So you kind of want your tankier vanguard on this particular cell, because when we first start off, we're just going to be letting these things run through willy-nilly, and you will get Fang attacking an opposite color. So when I had Vanilla posted there originally, she couldn't quite keep up. So I'll deploy my healer just to make sure that that is done, and then we're just going to move on to our tanks to make sure that they're in position first and foremost. So as you see, Fang's black is against a white. Vanilla's fine because she's black and black, but Fang is a little bit tankier, so thankfully she's a bit okay there. So anyway, moving right along, I'm going to deploy my catapult here. And that's basically just to splash everything that comes through. Obviously, as I said, if you've got another single target arts person there, then that's fine. Anyway, Steward here. It really doesn't, at this point in time though, it really doesn't matter where you put anybody. Who is backed up with who is really dependent on yourself. In this particular mode, it doesn't matter at all because the way things are set up, you will be working through stuff fairly equally depending on how everything's sorted out. If you were to do anything, as you see, we've got our 2 healing defenders down here, so you probably might want to consider putting your stronger offensive casters down the bottom here, but that's entirely up to you guys whether or not you want to do that. So once everything is out, once all those dogs have come out, we'll start putting down our other roadblocks. Not our other vanguards. So I'm just going to deploy Norcorn there. I'm going to wait for that to go through, and then I'm going to deploy Beagle, and I'm going to plop down another roadblock just here. Now this map will wait as long as it needs to. until the last enemy of a particular wave goes down, the next wave will not come out. And even then, as you see, it waits a little while, so you've got a fair wicket of time before you actually end up having to panic, basically. And basically, once all 3 waves have come out, then you can start deploying roadblocks for the next wave. So it's quite nice to you, actually. It's a horrible map, but all things considered, it's quite nice to you. Now, if you are just using a regular healer and you're not using Perfumer with a map-wide heal, it's probably in your best interest to just cycle Cardigan every single time she's ready to go, because otherwise you may have a little bit of a rude shock. So next up, we're going to replace this roadblock here, and we're going to pop one here. I don't know if you can actually get the medal from doing this. I don't know if it affects the EX missions or not, but I haven't actually calculated it properly, but I think you might be able to get it. I'm not sure. If for whatever reason you didn't get it during the normal clears. So as you can see, because I'm using Catapult, she takes quite a long time to get them down. Which gives me plenty of time to just sit here and works through stuff. Like I said, if I wasn't using Amiya and I was using Cruz, for example, obviously Cruz would take a fair while to knock through all these things, so you've got plenty of time to set up for that next wave. There we go. So the next wave is where the shuffle happens. And off they go. And so I'm going to use Catapult skill here. This is literally the only reason I bring Catapult, is so she can spam everything as they're all coming through. And so last but not least, we're going to set up for our last wave while this is going through. So the last wave is the worst wave. It is an absolute shocker. So we're going to remove that roadblock here and replace it just with one there. Going to yank this one out. Just keep an eye on your tanks, by the by. This wave is not too bad, but yeah, it's better to be safe than sorry. We're going to pop a roadblock here. Pop a roadblock. Anywhere here, doesn't really matter. Just as long as that channel's blocked. And last but not least, we're just going to pop one there. I don't think you have to completely block that off. This is actually the first time I'm doing this, so this recording could have to be redone. You just need to discourage the one from this lane to go. No, it's actually, you've got to discourage the one in the top lane to just cut straight down. And I think if you've got a roadblock here, it shouldn't do it. But like I said, I think I'm going to learn the hard way if it's not the case. Just trying to minimize the roadblock placings. So I've just slowed this down just to make sure, so I can put an emergency roadblock in case it does do something weird on me. So yeah, it's done what I wanted it to do, so that's fine. And then as you see, our 2 whites have gone down the bottom and our 2 blacks have gone up the top, which is perfectly fine. And this is the wave, because these are all bigger ones. So this is the wave we're going to have to be sort of careful on. We just want to be mindful of especially these tanks down the bottom. By these tanks down the bottom, I typically mean Cardigan. Because Cardigan only has a weaker damage behind them, whereas Spot has Amiya, and Spot can also properly heal himself as opposed to... I'll use Ansel's skill as well because I want to make sure that Norcorn stays healthy. So yeah, Spot gets a physical avoidance when he heals himself, so he's got a little bit more going for him than Cardigan, who just sort of face tanks and hopes for the best. So I'll just speed that back up again now that I've worked out that I'm not going to stuff this up and I'm going to have to re-record the whole thing again. So like I said, just keep cycling Cardigan's skill just to make sure that it's working as well as can be. You don't have to, but if you want to use Beagle's skill, you can. So here's that lane done, so we're going to yank them out. Norcorn's lane's going to be good, so I'm going to start deploying stuff. Whoop. Resize my window. Going to start redeploying stuff here. Sorry for the flicker. I have to put an epilepsy warning on this now. Ugh. So that top lane's done, so we'll pull them out. Put Fang in. So that bottom lane's done now, so we can pull them back out. And at this point, there's no point in me having catapult, so I'll just put Amiya in. And that's it. Like, the end of this is literally just killing off whatever lane takes its time to get through, so... yeah. Nice and simple. 9. I'm not sure how many roadblocks you start with, so it may... 16. I think you start with 16, maybe... it's either 16 or 14, I can't remember, but... for whatever reason you haven't done it, I think that might check your medal status. I'm not actually 100% sure, but if it does, sweet as. So yeah, like, subscribe, you know, the usual YouTube stuffage, and yeah, head over and check out my Twitch as well. Follow me on Twitch, and I hope to see you guys for WR-EX-7.